Some of our colleagues here were not even born before he got into office. They've matured, they have families, the man is stuck in office.
The kids also have kids now.
There is no peace in Uganda. The injustice that is created in Uganda creates a displacement of Ugandans around the world. When you see venom in office, I think it's time we revise the politics. The constitution is too old. It's actually been twisted over and over. He does not respect the constitution anymore. So we are begging you, we are asking you to look into the politics of Africa. We have where we belong. We are asking you to stop conniving with these dictators.
Yes.
You give them the ammunition and they get impunity through the guns you give them. We cannot act democracy anymore where there is the ruling of the gun. You are enjoying democracy here because you control the army. Out there, the army controls the system. We are asking the people, the legislators, the MPs, the ministers in Downing Street, please stop conniving with these dictators. They are disrupting the world. We are crying about immigrants coming to UK. Why don't you ask the reason what is causing the immigrants to come over?
Exactly.
You are blaming the immigrants on your shores.
Yeah.
But you don't find out the cause of the immigrants.
Preach it.
The more you connive with these dictators, the more you're going to have immigrants.
Exactly.
The more the system is going to be suppressed.
Exactly.
Because of immigrants. Yes, we contribute, don't get me wrong.
Exactly.
We are surprised even the politicians
of
the UK
of this country
should have known the spelling of democracy,
exactly.
The living of democracy, to literally abuse it.
Exactly.
The building behind us here.
That's the building.
The building behind us where we're standing right now on Holland Park. I'm talking to the world. The building on Holland Park. This is where Museveni does his money laundering. The money you give him as fund, he launders it for his own benefit, for his own little minute family. Education is starved. Security is nothing in Uganda. Infrastructure.
Health-wise.
The health system is absolutely diabolical. So, by the way, just to remind you, we have an true elected president who was elected in February 2021. And he's called the one and only His Excellency Robert Chagulanyi aka Bobby Wine. So don't be fooled if you're going to keep on conniving with an imposter. Museveni lost elections in 2021.
Exactly. And that's right.
Museveni lost elections in 2021. So people, we are here trying to push Boris out of office.
Exactly.
Why don't you push these dictators out of office?
Boris is also a dictator.
Boris is a little example of what's happening in Uganda.
Exactly.
Because they've got the right to stay in office. What right? They've got the guns. And if you're going to sit down and talk about Boris, Boris is a bully. If I should stop calling him Boris, we should start calling him Bully Johnson.
Bully Johnson. Bully Johnson.
He is the same man who endorsed his fellow bully in Uganda, Museveni. So we should stop being fooled around here.
Yes.
We should stop being taken for granted.
Yes.
We have a home. We have a country.
Yes. We need to
We
go
have
back.
a stake in Uganda.
Well,
We've got families there.
thank
But
you.
we're in a foreign land. And why are we here? Because there is injustice back home.
Exactly.
Who is supporting the injustice?
Boris
It's the
Johnson.
people in Downing Street.
Yes.
Boris Johnson, Priti Patel dancing and singing about sending immigrants to Rwanda. Do you know what's happening in Rwanda?
Guys are there watching.
Do you know what's happening in Rwanda?
They are listening.
You better go and find out. There is a war
They are
in
listening.
Rwanda and Congo right now. But until you stop conniving with dictators like Museveni, I repeat, the building behind us here, the building behind us here where we are on Holland Park, they connive and launder money from Uganda. They have the Ugandan taxpayers' money. We are not going to stop.
Enough
We're
is
going
enough.
to talk to the top of the mountain.
Enough is
Top of
enough.
our mouth to explain this.
We've had enough.
You people behind there, you people in that building behind us, you know what we're talking about. I think the English we're using, you can understand perfectly well. We need our status back in Uganda. We need to go back home.
Yes.
Enough is enough. There are times to side with the British people talking about immigrants. We want to go back home, but because of the injustice created by the leaders of the UK conniving with these dictators, we can't go back home where there's injustice. This should stop. Democracy means democracy. Elections means elections.
Exactly.
If you've lost, have the decency and walk away. And this message goes to Boris as well.
Yes.
If you've lost elections, have the diplomacy and walk away as a diplomat. But if you're going to get stuck in office, we're going to change your name from Boris to Bully Johnson. You're bullying the people. In fact, when I look at Boris now, I'm looking at Museveni from Uganda.
Yes. We are another.
When I look at Boris, he's another dictator like one of the African dictators. Museveni of Uganda.
Yeah.
We've got to enough is enough of these dictators.
Enough is enough.
It doesn't matter where you are. The 45th president was another bully who was kicked out of office because of his actions. If Boris is a bully, he should go out of office. If Museveni, who is conniving with Boris, they should all leave office.
Boris must go. Museveni must go.
Boris must go. Museveni must go. Priti Patel must go. Thank God Sentamu is already out of office. But if you prove to be a bully, then you don't have the right to be a legislator in any office of authority. Because what you do does not affect you alone. It affects everybody.
Exactly.
And this is a message to the people in that building behind us here. What you're doing is affecting our livelihoods.
They are there watching and listening.
What you're doing is affecting our futures.
Yes.
That is the taxpayers' money. It's not Museveni's money.
Yes.
It's Uganda's money. Yes. People power. Our power.
People power.
Everywhere.
Anything.
Bobby Wine.
Our presence.
Everywhere. Bobby Wine. People power. Bobby Wine. People power.
Our power.
Everywhere.
Bobby Wine.
People power.
Bobby Wine.
Everywhere.
Bobby Wine.
It's all about democracy, ladies and gentlemen. We are seeking for nothing but democracy.
Bobby Wine.
Africa is being torn apart because of the few minority. And it's you and I who are picking up the pieces. It's time we went back home. Enough is enough.
We want our freedom.
People power.
Our power.
Our power.
People power.
People power! People power! Hello, London! We do apologize for all this noise. But if we don't make this
come and
noise,
pass. Come and
it's
pass.
gonna get worse.
Yes.
The building behind us, the dictator Africa called Museveni,
Come and pass.
is hiding our money here. Your taxes are given to Africa. The dictator comes and buys the apartments in here. Inside there, 4 apartments behind us, that's where they are getting all the money deals. Pretty Patel, your Randy's deal is a sham. You are trying to divide the DRC Congo. You are trying to divide Congo, to steal the diamonds, to steal their gold. You are pretending to send Afghanistan refugees. Now, my name is Christina Amanda Nakagwa. I'm a medical doctor by profession. So when I'm talking, I know what I'm talking about. Today I'm here to tell you, British people, you are being told a lie by your media. How can you, for example, what is the difference between an Afghanistan refugee and a Ukrainian refugee? The only difference is their skin color. If you welcome a Ukrainian refugee, then you send the Afghanistan refugee to Rwanda. You are practicing hate crime. You are practicing racism. So this is what the media wants you to know. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't have time to know what is going on here. Behind us, we have just discovered that a country, Uganda, the dictator Museveni, that your Pretty Patel and Johnson, Boris, give money to for the last 40 years. Inside these buildings behind us are 4 offices. They are white British people working in these 4 buildings. They are busy channeling money. In your parliament, they discuss your taxes. That Britain has donated money for COVID to go to Uganda, a very poor nation. Then the money finds its way in these very buildings behind us. And then they come and tell you, Britain has taken your taxes, has given money to UPE, Universal Primary Education. But every day, you are seeing pictures of Ugandan children studying under trees, sitting on muddy bricks, swimming miles and miles to go to school. But every year, they tell you on Red Nose Day, you guys have collected billions and they're going to Africa. The money is channeled back here. The buildings behind us, ladies and gentlemen, we are here to inform you that this is where it all happens. The money comes back in his offices and it's channeled to Malta. We are begging you British people, stop supporting the dictator. Stop supporting the dictator. Tell your parliament that instead of discussing what to do with your refugees and your migrants, whether you send them to Africa, whether you bring them into your houses, the problem is you funding the dictators. Stop funding dictators. I will talk about the refugees going to Rwanda. Rwanda, I beg all of you, you must have a phone. Google the country called Rwanda. Find the size of Rwanda. Find the size of Rwanda. Find the population of Rwanda. Find where it is located. Rwanda is a very tiny nation.
Very tiny.
Rwanda is a landlocked country.
Very tiny.
Everything that Rwanda has, it receives it from another landlocked country called Uganda.
Exactly.
And then Uganda receives from another country called Kenya. So whatever you say, whatever refugee you're sending to Rwanda is an extended burden to Uganda, which is another burden to Kenya. So when we are here as Ugandans, telling you that the money, they're telling you that they're sending the refugees to Rwanda, ends up in Uganda, and it ends up in the buildings behind us. Ugandan dictators are hiding the money behind us. Stop funding the dictator. Stop funding the dictator. There is double standards in your media. Right now as we speak, Congo is at war. The citizens have risen up. They are saying enough is enough. They are saying there is no ADF. Britain is sponsoring Uganda to send their UPDF, the army, to Congo. That in the disguise of chasing some rebels called the ADF. Congo, the citizens of Congo are saying, no, you are lying. You are here stealing our diamonds and gold. And they are saying enough is enough, get out. In the midst of war, listen to me, British people. Listen to me, British people. If there is war in Congo, like the way we can see it, if we are seeing Congolese holding pangas and machetes and throwing out the Rwandese and throwing out the Ugandans, how can Charles, plus his wife, plus the Prime Minister Johnson, be in Rwanda right now? By now, the Foreign Office should be telling you Uganda, Kenya, Tanzania, and Burundi, and Congo are no-fly zone because there is a war in Congo. But as we speak, in our stories, they are telling you, the Daily Express is telling you, how come in our threat in Rwanda? Meanwhile, they're discussing how to divide Congo into two nations. Britain used Museveni, the dictator, to divide a nation of Sudan. They made the poor part of Sudan that has a lot of oil. Gave them guns. They are fighting as the oil of Sudan is being channeled to these islands. That's what they want to do in Congo. Where the diamonds are, where the gold is, they have put a lot of war. They have put instability. There is no infrastructure. There is no infrastructure in that part of Congo. So they are using Rwanda and Uganda. They are funding them. The money is being shared in the buildings behind us. British money is funding the war in Congo. They tell you they are taking refugees to Rwanda, but it is the money going to fund the war in Congo. It is being shared in the buildings behind us. British people, put your media to task. Put your government to task.
Exactly.
Stop funding the dictators. You want to start your immigration? Tell your government to stop funding the dictators in Africa. Enough is enough. Ugandans, we are tired. We want to return back to our country.
Exactly.
But how can we return to our country when all our money is being hidden in these apartments here? Stop funding the dictators. Stop the double standards. A refugee is a refugee. Whether it's a Ukrainian or an Afghanistan or a Nigerian, they are all refugees. I don't see why one refugee will come in Britain and another refugee is taken to Rwanda. These are double standards. Stop your double standards. People power, our power.
Thank you.
Thank you, young lady. Thank you, young lady. You hear the words from the young lady.
The Iron Lady.
People power. We are going to play just a simple song so that people come together. That's enough.
Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for watching Banange. We are over 100 Facebook accounts that are streaming live. Guys, thank you so much. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much. We are over 300 Facebook accounts that are watching. Yes, and the message is being delivered to everyone. So guys, what you can do is to share the video. Share the video. Let the video reach Boris.
Power.
Maybe later.
We are here as a Ugandan community. We want the world to know, and the UK in particular to know, that the money they are shifting to Uganda as aid is not going to the ground as aid.
No.
It's going to Uganda to buy arms. The brutal, longest serving dictator, Museveni, a dictator who has been in power for 38 years, is using that money to buy arms for Museveni, because Museveni has created a lot of wars around the Great Lakes nations. Right in Congo is on fire because of in Rwanda, we have another longest dictator, Kagame. And that's where Priti Patel and Boris Johnson, they are planning to send refugees. Our question is, what is the difference between a refugee from Ukraine and a refugee from Afghanistan? Human rights to be one for all. We don't want human rights which is on a selection basis. If you come from Ukraine, you can stay in the UK. If you come from Afghanistan, they deport you to Rwanda. And the reason being that, the reason why we don't believe in this policy, Rwanda is involved in the killing of over 3.5 million refugees from Congo. So why we are sending refugees to such a country? We are calling on the British people to refuse Boris Johnson and Priti Patel's ideas and plans. Enough is enough for Ugandans. Uganda is bleeding. Because women in Uganda cannot walk down the road without the fear of being raped.
I know!
Women in Uganda are being raped on a daily basis. Men in Uganda are being tortured. Children in Uganda are being kidnapped from the streets just for supporting, just for wearing the red beret. The red beret in Uganda is a problem, is a sentence to death if you wear the red beret. The red beret means people power movement, people who want change, people who respect human rights. Now in Uganda, it's a death sentence. If you wear red beret in Uganda, you're going to be killed. And this is being supported by the UK government. Our question is, why the UK government is supporting dictators around the world? Why the UK government is aiding, funding and promoting dictators? Museveni is overdue to leave power. Museveni, the brutal dictator, has been in power coming to 40 years now. Women in Uganda are not safe under Museveni. Men in Uganda are not safe under Museveni. During the First and Second World War in Europe, it was based on human rights. But as we speak in Uganda, we don't have human rights. That's the reason why we are standing here, trying to tell and educate the UK government that siding with a brutal dictator will not help. They need to be on the side of the 45 million Ugandans who are fighting for human rights, who wants change in Uganda. You're not going to get human rights under dictator Museveni. You're not going to get human rights in Rwanda. Those two presidents, those two dictators are involved in the refugee exodus from the two countries, over 9 million refugees put together. People power.
Our power.
Our power.
People power.
Okay. Where is this?
People power. Our power.
Our power.
People power.
People power.
There's one.
Our power. Banenzo lwange Uganda kati. Kati njugana banna Uganda. Ekifo twakizudde kikino ewali sente zammwe. Ewali sente zammwe weewano. Kakati mulina okukola ku basajja n'abakazi ababba sente zammwe ne bazireeta eno. Bannayuganda ekifo kikino ekibabuzanga musula mutunula. Ekifo kikino ekibakubya emiggo buli lunaku. Ekifo kikino ekibawambya buli lunaku. Ekifo kikino ekibassa buli lunaku. Nga mubatereka sente zammwe ze babajjako mulekerawo okubawa sente. Mulekerawo okusasula emisolo. Mulekerawo okugula amaduuka gaabwe. Mulekerawo okubawa sente. Ate n'ekirala eno message egenda eri bannayuganda. Nina video gye nalabye nga mugamba amagye g'ababbye. Amagye kyambalo bwambalo kya yinifoomu. Mwade musobola beekolerako. Mulekerawo okutya ekyambalo obwambalo. Mulekerawo okutya emmundu. Abo abantu abakutte emmundu n'abambadde ebyambalo si bannamagye, bantu nga mmwe bababuzaabuza. Bwe munalanga okubakolako mujja kumanya bannamagye amatuufu. Bwe munalanga okukola ku bantu abo bali mu magye abajja ne babappa ne yunifoomu z'amagye, mujja kutandika okumanya bannamagye amatuufu. Kubanga kati Uganda yafuuka ensi yafuuka kisekererwa. Uganda yafuuka ensi nti gwe gwalina amateeka mu ngalo zo. Gwe yasobola okwekuumanga gwe. Mulina okufa n'abantu abo bali mu yunifoomu. Mulina okufa n'abantu abo bali mu yunifoomu. Mulekere abasajja abo bakwatanga mukola ki? Mutunda nti amagye gabakutte, simanyi poliisi yabakutte. Ebyo byambalo ababbi ba Museveni bye bakozesa. Ebyo byambalo abagwira ba Museveni abajja ne babatta bye bakozesa. Bwe munaatandika okubeekolerako mugenda kumanya abannamagye amatuufu aba Uganda kuba bo gye bali. Bwe munaalekerawo okutya emmundu ne yunifoomu mugenda kwenunula. Ate no message egenda eri bonna abali mu struggle. Bwe munaatandika okwejjamu ababaliira emabega ne mubeekolerako togenda kuddamu kufulumya message zammwe wadde n'emu.
Kazibwe Bashiri.
Bwe munaatandika okubamenya omu ku omu, trust me, mugenda kukola nga ddiru zammwe ziyitemu nga gavumenti temanyi.
Kazibwe Bashiri watusala.
Kubanga kino njagala nkibategeeze ne South Africa okulibaleetinga yamala kwejjamu nkwezenge.
Exactly.
Ne South Africa okufunziza omuzungu n'emusa wansi yamala kwejjamu nkwezenge. Kabe mwana wa kitaawo ng'akuliddemu olukwe mujeewo ogwo omutwe ogw'oguwonye. Kabe mubaka wa paaliyamenti ng'akuliddemu olukwe mujeewo tunateekawo omulala.
Exactly.
Kabe mukwanogo ng'akuliddemu olukwe mujeewo tuli musabira ng'agenze.
Okumba wange kuli bwe kuti. Nkyabulira abantu bano. Kubanga ssente zammwe ziri wano. Abazijja bano baziteeka wano mubamanyi.
Eyo yonna street eyo gy'olaba.
Ebisoone ne bagiba ebinuka mugimanyi. Naye nga ekigenda okujjawo ebyo byonna kwe kukwata abo ababaliddemu enkwe, kwe kukwata abo aboogera pulaani zammwe mubajjawo emitwe ku mutwe. Then mujja kulibeetinga country yammwe.
N'abatulimu muno wano.
N'abatulimu wano e Bulaaya tugenda tanko bakolako.
Babi nnyo.
N'abatulimu wano e Bulaaya ne mudda ku media ne mwokola people power. Ate nga mutulyamu enkwe tugenda tanko beekolerako.
Bwe kiri. Kasatu n'abategeera.
We tutegeerera banne tutegeera oyo ijje tumugjewo. Mulekere ogandi mwana wa gundi, mulekere ogandi ati bakosa mukozese.
No.
Tewali muntu gwenza kugamba kutuula mu byagizeemu n'abituulamu ng'abiraba. Kati oyo gwe bakozesa gwe batujjawo.
Exactly.
Bano abazungu bwe banaatekeraawo okufuna information zaffe.
Yeah.
Tujja kununula eggwanga lyaffe. Tewamala. Bano abantu balina okutegeera. Abantu muddeeyo mutunuulire South Africa engeri gye yalwanamu okwenunula. Yamala kwejjamu buli muntu yenna eyagalanga ssente n'awaayo information yaabwe. Oba si kyekyo.
Mwana waffe. Mwana. Avuddemu yeno. Avuddemu yekka. Olaba avubutuka. For over 35 years of dictatorship, enough is enough.
People power. Our power. People power. Banange nse wano ngenda kugenda mu Uganda kubanga obusungu bumanyo. Bumanyi tuli wano. We're not here just because we want to be here. We all have things to do at home.
Exactly.
But guess what? What is happening in our country, Uganda, the country that has been led by Museveni for more than 40 years. Here downstairs, there is a guy who is withholding all the money that comes from Uganda. Sente zaffe zonna zikuumirwa wano. Uganda tetulina masomero, abaana tebasoma. Tebuli madagala mu madwaliro. Enguudo zonna zijjudde potholes. Naye mmwe, my British people, you're conniving with a dictator. Ne mumuwa ssente, bwe mutanula entalo, bwe mumuwa ebyokulwanyisa. Bannange ekintu ekyo kikome. Stop funding the dictator. Museveni is a dictator. Abaana b'abantu babawamba, abaana b'abantu babatta, abakyala bafiira ku makubo. Naye Museveni ye mwongera kumuwa ssente. Huyo yatanula entalo e Sudan. Yatanula entalo e Zambia. Yatanula entalo e Somalia. Why do you guys connive with Museveni? Stop funding Museveni. We don't need Museveni no more. We don't need Museveni no more. Adeye wawe gye bamuzaala yajjira kuki? Yajjira mu bikapu. Watuuka mu Uganda abantu ne bamukola ki? Ne bamusembesa bulungi nnyo. But he decided to really overtake and overthrow the people of Uganda, the natives of Uganda. Come on, guys. Stop funding the dictator. People power. Our power. I support Luke and Chagulanyi Seta, who is my president.
Thank you. Thank you. Exactly.
Museveni tukusaba ote ba political prisoners bonna. Abana bafe bonna bannako bamalidde makomera.
Boris is another dictator. Boris is another dictator.
People power. Our power.
People power.
MUP. Everywhere. Yes, Ugandans are here. We need to expose this brutal dictator. A dictator who has been in power for over almost 40 years.
Yes.
Let me hand over the mic to the big guy and let him give his last speech and then hand it over to someone else.
Okay.
Hello, people power.
Our power.
People power.
Our power.
People power.
Our power.
We are here to demonstrate against the bad leadership in Uganda.
Yes.
Not leadership, but bad ruler, a dictator.
Share the
He
video, guys.
has been in power for 40 years.
Thank you for watching, guys. Share
Most
the
of the
video.
people you see behind me here have not seen any other leader other than the ruler there. Sorry, I call him leader, he's a ruler.
The dictator.
Now, he's gone to Congo, present-day DRC, the Republic of Congo. He's looted there. He spent billions and billions of money to wreak havoc to Congo. Congo is mineral-rich country. The leader, the dictator of Uganda, has ravaged everything, the minerals from Congo. I beg to remember the people who have gone before us. Rita Nakagwa, Frank Knight, Frank Senteza,
Rest in
the
peace.
people who died in Arua.
Rest in peace.
We pray for the two MPs who are going through imprisonment for no reason. Olivia retire. Remember the person is alive as long as they are remembered. So let us remember the dead, those suffering in the prisons, and those who are in hospital. Please, Uganda, if you don't know, is located within the Central African region. It's a mineral-rich country. It has forests. It has lakes. The dictator in Uganda has stolen, ravaged, taken everything. He's looted Uganda, that nothing is left in Uganda. He's used the British funds to loot Uganda, and that money comes back to London here, and it's being misused. The same person goes on to poison Ugandans. Many Ugandans have perished at the hand of the dictator. If he doesn't murder them, shoot them, he poisons them to death. And this is a way, he's just doing what the Russian president does. Give them poison and they die if you can shoot them. For the people abroad in diaspora, like the people you see here, they have been poisoned. The dictator has gone on to privatize everything, and he sold off everything to his family. There used to be a national bank called Uganda Commercial Bank. He took it to himself and took all the property to himself, sold it to his family, and he's left the country with no national bank. What country is this? Uganda, as we stand, has more jails than hospitals. Uganda has more police posts than health centers. The army, the police, the torture police have new uniforms, new boots. The doctors, medical workers have barely surgical gloves. Is this what you want for Uganda? In hospitals in Uganda, there is no medicine. But the army has bullets and manufactures bullets. They have new boots. They have new uniforms, combat uniforms. Yet the medical doctors have not been paid for the last 1 year. The police who torture us in Uganda have not been paid. with the exception of having new boots, new uniform. Is this what we want? Uganda education is a joke. People sit under trees to have education. Yet the president's son holds parties and birthday parties worth billions and billions. A more recent example, we've had a so-called Speaker of Parliament. In total, Uganda spent 10 billion on his treatment and funeral. But the hospital in his home village only needed 3 billion to have a scan and life-saving equipment. Is this what we want?
No!
Is this the kind of education where kids go under a tree to have education? Is this what we want?
No!
People power!
Our power!
People power! This is a man who is escorting
Kagame plus Museveni equals 1994 genocide. UK plus Rwanda plus Museveni equals ongoing genocide in DRC Congo and Uganda. Boris, stop genocide. Boris is another dictator.
This is a poor country. You can't compare it to America. Yet the dictator spends more than the American government on himself. Is this what we want for Uganda?
No.
People power. Our power.
People power.
How can a president, a sitting president, pull the people into remission? They ask for food and he recommends them to take a starchy food. Is this what we want?
No.
What do we want? Good leadership. People power.
Our power.
People power.
Our power.
Thank you.
Thank you guys for watching. Thank you. Share the video, guys. JBMuwonge, thank you so much for streaming over 100 Facebook accounts. We really appreciate. Guys, share the video. Let the video reach Boris Johnson. Let the video reach in Rwanda.
Good evening, London. Good afternoon, London. Good evening around the world. My name is Christine Amanda Nakagwa. I come from the country called Uganda. Uganda is in the East African region. It is a landlocked country.
Share the video,
It
guys.
lies at the bottom of any financial standing. I think we are number 3 after Malawi and some other country. We are such a poor, poor nation. But we have had a dictator rule over us for 40 years. In the comfort hands of Britain. Dear British people, hear me as you go home and as you trek into this rush hour. Hear me very well, British people. Your media is contributing to our misery. Your country and your parliament is contributing to our misery. Your taxes are lying behind the buildings behind us. Why we are standing here this afternoon is because we have discovered that the dictator hides or runs his business, his financial business, in the apartments behind us. Hear me, British people, if you pay tax in this country, your money goes to parliament and Boris Johnson gives it to Africa and an African dictator brings it back on offshore banking and it is manned in the poor apartments behind us. Is that fair?
No.
Right now, I would like to talk to you about the war in Russia and Ukraine. We all know and have blacklisted Russia as the bad guy.
Yes.
Rightfully so. But as we speak, Borison, Prince Charles and Camilla are in Rwanda. And they are meeting their big boy in the East Africa. That is Museveni. Museveni for 40 years is in bed with Putin in Russia. They are buying weapons in Russia. But because Britain is interested in the gold in Congo, is interested in all the dirty business that Museveni is doing in the Great Lakes region, is destabilized, use Museveni to destabilize Somalia. Use Museveni to destabilize and divide the country of Sudan. Use Museveni to destabilize Congo. Use Museveni to destabilize Rwanda and to put the Kagame, the dictator. Use Museveni to destabilize the Central African Republic. It is now keeping a blind eye that the same dictator, Museveni, is buying weapons to kill Ugandans from Putney in Russia. And it is the same government in Britain is telling you Russia is a bad guy. Putney is a bad guy. Oh, we should pray for Ukraine. We should sponsor Ukraine migrants and refugees. But yet, Britain is busy. Right now, if I ask you, your media Daily Express is telling you what dress Camilla is dressed in while she's in Rwanda. Yes. But they are not telling you why Boris is in Rwanda. They are funding the army in Museveni for 40 years. Yes. They are well funded, as my previous speakers have said. Well funded more than any other institution in Uganda. Yeah. Where we don't have schools, we don't have gloves in hospitals, doctors are not paid, teachers on strike. Yes. The army generals are waxing great. They are rich. They are possessing lands and miles and apartments in London. Yeah. Behind us is one of the apartments that these people are using their shoddy business. We have just discovered that the dictator in Africa is shoving money, is hiding our money. Yes. Your taxes, British people, is behind here. Yes. It is man here. Yes. We come from a country called Uganda. Yes. Our dictator has ruled us for 40 years. Yes. And the money, they're in bed with Boris. They are in bed with Preti Patel. Yes. They are in bed with Bishop Sentam. Yes. They are telling you lies about migrants going to Rwanda. Yes. They want to divide the DRC Congo. Yes. Let me tell you about Rwanda deal with Britain. Rwanda was colonized by the French. Exactly. It's a Francophone country. Recently, because they wanted to use Rwanda and Museveni in Uganda to divide the country of Congo, like they did in Sudan. Yes. They started punishing this man called Paul Kagame, the man who murdered 1 million people in a period of only 1 month. The vast genocide of our generation. Britain right now as we speak has sent Prince Charles and his wife to Rwanda. Boris Johnson is in Rwanda. Right now, a Francophone nation called Rwanda is going to host the Commonwealth Organization meeting. A country that does not belong to the Commonwealth. Exactly. Has been given the award to host the CHOGM meeting. The CHO, the CHOGM meeting. The Commonwealth meeting. That assembly that has taken place, 52 nations that make the Commonwealth are going to meet in Rwanda. Why? British people, why? It has nothing to do with the refugees that are going there. It has everything with their compliance in dividing Congo. You may be wondering in the traffic what's going on. Why are we standing here? Behind us are apartments where your money is being laundered. Money laundering without dictator happens in the buildings behind us. Thank you. Young lady, I'm going to tell you lies. I have repeated. Rwanda is not a Commonwealth country. Yes. Can you ask Britain why it has awarded the Commonwealth meeting to take place in Rwanda? Yes. Exactly. Because there are deals. Yes. Anytime a nation is at war, the international office issues a decree. British people, British citizens, Congo is fighting. Yeah. But right now, Boris Johnson is in Rwanda. Why? Charles and Camilla are in Rwanda. Why the double standards? Why the double standards? Why? It's because their deal in Congo has fallen through, has not materialized. Yes. They want an urgent meeting. Yes. Museveni, the dictator, the man you give your money, the money your government gives your taxes, hides the money in here.
Yes, there.
There are 4 apartments behind us. We just discovered President Museveni is using not black people, is using not Nigerian people, real British white people. They sit in the offices behind here. The money is given away. Your government tells you through your bogus media, through your bogus BBC, that Britain has donated these billions to the poor in Africa.
We don't even have
The money comes back here and is sent to Malta. British people, help us. Question your government. Question your media. We want to go home. How can we go home when you're sponsoring the dictators in Africa? Our money, Ugandan money, is sitting in the apartments behind us. Stop sponsoring the dictator. Question why Chogam, why the Commonwealth of
Why
is happening in Rwanda? Why the Ukrainians are being welcomed in this country?
Why the
But
royal
the Afghanistan refugees are sent to Rwanda. They are telling you lies. They don't want you to know that they are dividing Congo. They are dividing Congo the way they divided Sudan. They want the part of Congo that has the diamonds and the gold to be poor, to be at war, as the diamonds are coming. That's what they did in Sudan. They used Museveni. The money Museveni receives for these deals is hidden behind us. Ladies and gentlemen, help us. Don't support the dictator. Help us. Now Ugandans are rising up. The Congolese people have risen up. They are fighting for their country.
Exactly.
Ugandans, we have a slogan saying Kunga. Yes, we are going to rise up. We as the people of Uganda, irrespective of religion, tribe, or political affiliation, we are going to Kunga. We are going to rise up as people power. Our power.
People power.
We're going to throw out these dictators.
Exactly.
But before we do that, we must inform you, Britain.
Yes.
We don't want you sponsoring the dictators.
Exactly.
We know all your shoddy deals.
Yes.
We know all these refugees going to Rwanda is a lie.
Thank you.
Rwanda is a very small country.
Very small.
It's a landlocked country.
Very tiny.
Every refugee is sent to Uganda, to Rwanda, is a burden to Uganda. And Uganda knows it. So they give them money, they hide it in the apartments behind us. We are going to rise up in Britain. We're going to throw you out. Because now we know these Commonwealth gimmicks don't work. If Rwanda is hosting a Commonwealth game, a Commonwealth meeting, without being a part of the Commonwealth, then it doesn't matter. We want our country back. People power.
Our power.
People power.
Our power.
Stop saying, put me in Russia.
Thank you guys. Thank you for watching. Thank you for watching, guys. We are gonna end our live streaming because the Facebook account doesn't accept the music copyright, and we need to play some music, guys. Thank you for watching, guys. Share the video. We need some music. We need some revolutionary music from our president, and we are going to end our Facebook live. But thank you so much for watching. Please, guys, share the video. We need to ditch out the dictator. Enough is enough. Guys, enough is enough. Kagame and Museveni is equaling to a genocide that was caused in 1994. So guys, share the video. Let's end the live. We need some revolutionary music.
Your media, let them not tell you lies that Putin is bad only when they are inconvenienced. But when the dictator in Africa buys weapons from Putin, then that's all right. No, stop the double standards. Occupy.
Hello, yes. Live ewedde naye nga ate demonstration tewedde. Yeah, demonstration ekyagenda maaso naye nga live yewedde ensonga lwaki bagenda kuba revolutionary songs ate zina copyright wano tuba tetusobola kuzikubirawo. Sorry, audio isemu. Naye point eri nti mukyajjukira wena bagambye John nti Abanauganda bawangalira mu UK, they discovered and actually they did their research and discovered this place where Museveni and his cronies keep money after, you know, it has been stolen from Uganda. I told you the classified expenditures, the loans, those that disappear mysteriously, money lost in misuse of public, offices and all that kind of thing. After collecting all that money, bazitwala ne bazitereka mu banka agali mu nsi ezewabweru UK, America, batereka sente zino mu nsi eziwera. Naye abaana bana bali mu UK bazudde ekifo kino. Naye oyina okitegeera nti wabaddewo ensasagge, abaana bakubye ekikopo, bakoze demonstration, bademonstrating mu kifo nenanyini ekifo ennyini n'atya n'ayita police. Kuba nga atidde alowooza nti Abanauganda bagenda baraiding ekifo ekyo bakole kinaye abaana ne bagamba nti tebasobola kugenda kuridinga kifo ekyo kukolerako fujjo. Naye ng'omusajja atiddemu n'ayita ne police. Naye nga obimanyi police yerisize zineze wano nti egenda tuuke ku betiya gas era bayogeddemu kano baga mugende maaso ne demonstration yamwe kyemuliko kituufu. Mugende maaso ne demonstration yamwe kyemuliko kituufu. Era kyobola banga nakati kusaawe no bakyagenda maaso. Kugambye demonstration tewedde ekyagenda maaso. Era tugenda gikola ku review. Kugambye ekifo ekyo kyennyini kyebabadde awo wennyini mu nfaawo we wali Museveni waakolera obuvuyo bwe in the United Kingdom. Tereka sente amazozi beno ebirala bingi bikyajja gwe 10 we are streaming on over 50 pages if not 100 because I put this live stream on a couple of pages. So all you need to do is to keep pushing this message further. After keep pushing this message further, wetunule muli nawo olabe kiki kyensobola okukola, because just like I always tell you, we need this change and we still fight to get it, but it is not going to come just like that. It requires your input, it requires my input, it requires each and everyone's input. Oberanga owuliranga ojagala nnyo wetunule muli nawo obeeko kyokola. Olumu ntera okusoma mu comment section awo nosanga omuntu yenga ali mu kugamba nti lwaki bekalakasize, lwaki tebajja eno. Wonna wooli woba okolera ekyo ky'oba osobola okukola. Oba oli South Africa, oba oli Kenya, oba oli Luweero, oba oli Kampala, oba oli Gulu, whatever you can do, don't blame anyone olw'okuba ye abeera akikoledde awo nyini waba alina okukola. So guys, that's what I had for you. Tomorrow I think we shall do a review of this protest and we get to know what these guys are going to Alright guys, I believe let me as well stop here. But before I go, just hold on a minute. Bino tebinnaba kuggwa gwe kyolina okumanya. Tebinnaba kuggwa paka nga tukimaliriza. Paka nga kiwedde.
Tulina okwenunula kyokya